Welcome back to Alliance War. It's now season 40. Woohoo! And for Loki is beginning the Middle Age war season by facing pycb. Good luck to those guys. All right, I'm going to be bringing Red Hulk, an Absorbing Man, and Jane Foster. You may be wondering, why the heck is Clown bringing Jane Foster? And the reason is, for this synergy here, the Worthy with Absorbing Man, this allows me to get armor breaks with medium ending combos. That's going to be important because later on I'm fighting Killmonger with Absorbing Man on Path 9B. So, first up here we have Galan on node, 17 or something? I'm an idiot, and I read these nodes, but I didn't actually read these nodes, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pulling a classic sort of clown move here, where I read them, oh, yeah. And I understand that they were changed during the season, and I read the changes, but I didn't actually appreciate them. And one of the changes that they made here was that based upon buffs, there's going to be a reduction in my defensive ability accuracy, which means that I won't be able to get parries to stick. I don't actually realize that, and I end up getting myself popped in the face right there because I see it parry, but he's not stunned, and I go to do the good old heavy into SB1 maneuver, and it fails, and I eat a heavy to the face. Great job, Clown. Not the first mistake I'm going to make this war, folks. Anyway, facing Galan on defense is not particularly difficult. The thing to remember is that he's going to go into Harvest when he hits 100 planetary mass, so you avoid that. You avoid that by knocking him down with specials, so we're just going to be spamming special ones here against this guy, and the fight will go pretty easy. Once I realized my mistake after the first time, I determined not to make that same mistake again. I will repeat mistakes in this war, but, at least not that one. All right, now we get to move on to the first showcase of the season. And what I mean by that is that it's rhulk time, baby. Kabam gave me a season or two with rhulk as a global attacker, and so I'm going to use the shit out of him because he's my boy. So first up, we have this Arcus on 21. I popped an invul. Generally because whenever I fight Arcus here, I want to have an invul on. And even though Red Hulk is a global attacker, he'll be able to fate seal Arcus. There's always the possibility of this jackhole getting up to an SB3. I want to be able to make sure that I can tank it. And so, yeah, the goal here is just let me spam some special ones, get some fate seals on Arcus, and I will be getting rid of his buffs. Now, I did not do a great job this offseason of prepping for the global. In past seasons, I really sort of studied the global. This offseason, I just didn't get a chance between needing to take a break from war after last season and then, work stuff getting in the way. Not as much prep as I would have liked. And so I'm sort of learning the global on the fly here, which comes into play later. I guess I should mention, I got COVID. Yeah, so I finally get over the flu that I had, that lasted so long. Go to Nashville for the weekend with my friends, come back with COVID. So I'm sick again. Just lovely. All right, the next showcase for Red Hulk is going to be this Icarus on 22. This is the Hazard Shift, Incinerate, and Shock Path node. I had no idea what to assign here. And PWF and I, we talked about this fight for a lengthy period of time, and he just decided, why don't you rhulk it? And so, an opportunity to take a rhulk challenge, I gotta say yes. So I can't be called out like that. So here's to you, PWF. The theory here is that I'm going to be hitting him during the Incinerate phase. I'm going to be spamming special ones to control his energized buffs. Icarus is also a global defender. And my hope is that I'll be able to take specials on the block like that, and I won't get crushed by the aggression prowess on the node. Because that's the big fear, right? Is that I can't hit him during the shock phase. Aggression prowess ticks, then he throws a special to my block and nukes me through the block. When I died with Miguel on this node last season, it was by, aggression prowess just nuking me through the block. So, trying to avoid that here. My Icarus is on defense. I took him to rank 4. If we had seen a different defender on this node, I probably would have used a different defender. For example, the other battle groups had Punisher 2099 here. I think I probably would have sent Infamous Iron Man Idoom to that fight, not Red Hulk, just so that way I had a better counter to the aggression prowess. But against Icarus, Red Hulk does fine. Good job, buddy. Good job by you. All right, next up we have node 26. This is Hazard Shift Bleed Shock. It's also Conflictor. And I have assigned myself to do this with Absorbing Man in Uru form. And this is where sort of my lack of preparation regarding the new global really sort of shows itself. I mean, also, I make a bunch of gameplay mistakes in this fight. But I'm just not doing things like when she's showing me her block, hitting her block to get rid of those buffs. The other thing is that I really sort of went into this fight underestimating the amount of power that I would be gaining from Mystic Dispersion. And alternatively, how much power she would be gaining by the global buffs that I am not getting rid of by continuing to not hit her block. She's going to throw a special 3 here, and I remember being legit worried, like, oh gosh, what am I going to do here? I'm going to die right off the bat. And so, it takes about 40% of my health. I can get some of it back here due to adrenaline. And I'm like, okay, I can survive 2 special 3s in this fight and make it through. And pretty much that's what's going to happen. This is going to become a dueling special 3 here. Who can do it better? Fortunately, the Incinerates are not doing a tremendous amount of damage. Also, fortunately, Carl's kit really nerfs her unblockable when she throws specials. And so that is huge for me avoiding getting punched in the face by any of her specials. Because see, that one I'm just taking it on the first hit on the block. She's gaining power from Conflictor. I really should have, knowing that I was going to be tanking another special 3, I should have thrown it before she procced her own glancing. That's just yet another gameplay mistake by yours truly. Because it would have done it probably a lot more damage. I don't know. I don't know if her glancing affects SB3s, but that's what I'm telling myself. And here she's going to throw her second. That was my third, her second. Man, this fight is rough. I don't think I'll be doing it again. There's got to be a better answer here. Whew. If someone else in 4 Loki had sent this fight, I would have made fun of them. And so it's only fair that I get to make fun of me. Finish her off with the combo. Dear Lord in heaven. All right, Killmonger. Here's the reason why I brought Jane Foster, so that way I could armor break with the second medium hit of a combo. That allows me to get past his reverb. That's the whole point here. One eye open on this node does mess with me a little bit because it means I can't, rely on parry heavy into the SB1. I'm still able to heavy into the SB1 there. But, it's always, I should have gotten better on my spacing there against the SB2, so that way I could have countered heavied like I do right here. That gives me great damage. But, mother mistake. But overall, Absorbing Man is really good for this fight, especially with the synergy. The question is always, being able to fit the synergy on your team. Should have done a heavy counter there. Should have done one there. Like, rough. All right, now we go into Hulkling. This was a fight that I thought Absorbing Man could do. There was some discussion as to whether or not he couldn't. And I had learned some hard truths from that Sersi fight. Because knowing that Hulkling is a global defender, I'm going to go ahead and pop an invulnerability boost because I have a feeling that I might be tanking a special 3 at some point. Or at least I might need to tank a special 3 in order to survive the fight. The fact that this guy's a big, beefy rank 5 certainly, certainly matters. But overall, I do a little bit better job in this one than I did against Sersi, I think. Other than, going into magma when I need to be an Uru. Clown. Fortunately, with the power gain against Cosmics being so ridiculous, I can get right back into Uru, which is where I need to be. I just need to be hitting block to get rid of these freaking flourish charges. So much going on in these fights. So yeah, here's the special 3 that I knew I was going to tank. This would have killed me if I didn't have an invul. No doubt in my mind. But fortunately, I had learned my mistake from the Sersi fight, and there we go, boom, the big SB1 damage to nuke the last half of Hulkling's health bar. Just incredible. All right, next we have Juggs. He's another global defender on node 47, the shared fight, Rich Get Richer. I'm going to use rhulk. The thinking here is that rhulk is a global attacker, and I'll be able to deal with Juggs' buffs. And that's the entirety of the plan here. I'm a little surprised, I got to say, about how resilient I found this Juggs to be on defense. I really felt like my damage was nerfed quite a bit. Oh, there's my buddy Dan texting me. Hi, Dan. He hates bugging me. I don't mind. I just felt like this fight took a lot longer than it should have in my head. In my head, this was like a minute-long fight. It ended up being like a minute and a half. I did stop baiting a special and push him to a special 3 because I remembered I still had my invul boost active from the Hulkling fight, so I could tank a special 3. And he was just not being super cooperative with throwing specials. So I figured, why worry about it? Let's just get back to a 0 power bar and tank the SB3. So that was the plan. Once he would refuse to throw specials. But yeah, I mean, this fight is taking way longer than it should, in my opinion. And I'm just the lack of critting is really annoying. But anyway, he's dead. Next, this is ManThing on node 50. This was a fight of necessity. Didn't really have any other options for the fight. We knew that Red Hulk could do it with the secondary damage from the heat charges bypassing Safeguard. The fact also that Red Hulk is poison immune means you don't have to worry about that. That he is a global attacker, so you can deal with ManThing's buffs like the Furies and the Unstoppables and the Regens. Meant that this felt like a pretty safe assignment, even if it is going to be another slower fight. And yeah, it is a good assignment. I'm just taking that stuff on the block so as to not trigger decks, to not feed his Mystic Dispersion. I mean, really, the only concern in the fight is letting Mystic Dispersion allow ManThing to get to a special 3, and then him throwing a special 3 and killing you. I mean, when people die to ManThing, that's generally what happens, is that they don't play around his power gain. And so I was being super cautious about it. I was somewhat lucky there that he was very generous by throwing that SB2. Here I built up to a special 3 to try and get in more damage around Safeguard with the Incinerate. And if I have to do this fight again, I think I would just stick to spamming the special ones for the Fate Seals, because this Incinerate is not doing a tremendous amount of damage. I feel like it usually does more, but this one just, I wasn't super thrilled with it. I think I'd just stick to spamming special ones for the Fate Seal. So, because the Fate Seal is more important, it keeps them from regenerating, which, prevents him from becoming unblockable according to the node. So yeah, just little notes from Clown there. But this is an easy fight and super safe, and I finish at a full yellow bar. So not many fights this particular war that you could say that about. Now we get into the coup de grace, Absorbing Man versus Terrax, and this is a fight full of disasters. I've done this fight before, and I found it to be super easy. But when I did it before, I was in magma form. Here, I'm in Uru form. And when I did it before in magma form, I used a PS1, and then I realized that was a waste. And so here, I'm in Uru form and didn't use a PS1. So, and I'm like, why is this fight so difficult? And I don't realize it because I'm in the wrong freaking form. I'm just totally stupid. The reason that you want to be in magma is because magma form reduces the damage from the rock stacks by like 80%. And that just allows you to be super tanky. You'll get refined, you'll get pauses in the form because of the armor breaks from the rock field, and you'll be able to refine yourself once you get to 150 of his charges. And it's, plus you get the extra incinerates on, but, I picked the wrong form, I boosted incorrectly, and then I played terribly. And that is a recipe, folks, for why I have never had a deathless season in Tier 1 War, and why I will not have a deathless season this season. So I think about this fight for a little bit, and I go back in, and I'm like, well, the last time I did this fight, I used a PS1 to allow me to refine my form, blah, 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 blah. Let me use the PS1. And so here I am continuing to be the world's dumbest Absorbing Man player and not putting on magma form, just doubling down on Uru. But now I have the PS1, and I will say this. I play this fight a hell of a lot better. I mean, it would be hard not to play it better than my first attempt. I play this fight much better, but I'm still not approaching the fight in the correct way. And that's just the kind of sort of silly mistake that you can't really afford in Tier 1 War. So, yeah, F me. See you in the next life, Jack.